our channel once again. So, as usual, before I tell you the topic, let me give you 3 sets of sentences. Yes, you may have remembered all these days I have given you 2 or 3 sentences. But today I will give you 3 sets of sentences. Yes. Now, let's see what are they. So, I'll come to the first set first. And that is, are they coming with us, or do you know if or whether they are coming with us? And now I will move on to the second set, and that is, can you help me move on Sunday? Or, is there any chance you could help me move on Sunday? And now comes the third set, and that is, did you finish the report? Or, I was wondering if you finished the report. So, here you got 3 sets of sentences. And now let me move on to the topic. And the topic is straight questions or polite ones. Yes. Do you want me to repeat it for you once again? Alright, once again for you. The topic is straight questions or polite ones. And that is why I have given you 3 sets of questions. I have asked 3 different sets of questions. Now, to know more about the topic, we have to know how to make sentences. Now, to know more about the topic, you should know how to ask questions. Either to ask straight questions or to ask polite questions. So, there are 2 ways to ask questions in English. And they are direct questions and indirect questions. But whether you ask the question directly or indirectly, both mean the same. Both have the same meaning. But remember, indirect questions are asked only when we want to make the question polite. Or in other words, only when we want to ask the question in a polite way. Especially when we are talking to people we don't know. For example, direct question. What is the time? And I will give you one indirect question now. And that is, can you tell me what time it is? So you can see here, the same question I have asked in 2 different ways. And that is directly as well as indirectly. Again, when we ask direct questions, the thing or the question that we are asking becomes a part of a longer question. Always remember that. And here we use introductory expressions such as, can you tell me? Could you tell me? Or show me? And the question follows. Say for example, can you tell me where is round? Or could you tell me where is round? Alright. The second way, do you know? And the question follows. Do you know where is Police Bazaar? Do you know where is Red Fort? Etc. The third type, would you mind telling me or would you mind showing me? And the question follows. For example, would you mind telling me where is Rahul? The fourth one, have you any idea where the cinema hall is? And the last set, that is, I wonder, and the question follows. I wonder, how can you fail in your exam? This is also one type of question. And the last one, I wonder if you would mind telling me or showing me something. That is, the rest of the question, it follows. Now, this is followed either by a question word such as what, why, how, when, where, or by if or whether. Then the information that we want to know follows. But the word order changes in direct question. Whereas indirect questions have the same word order as statements. For example, direct question. Where is the reprography section? And now follows the indirect question, and that is, do you know where the reprography section is? Again, if we are making an indirect question from a direct question, which already contains a question word, like what, when, where, who and how, In that case, we keep the same question word. For example, direct question. What is the dress code in the office? And the same question I will tell you in indirect way, and that is, could you tell me what the dress code is in the office? Again, if the direct question doesn't have a question word, then in that case we use if or whether in the indirect question. We can use these interchangeably, although if it is a little more informal. For example, direct question. Is the coffee for everyone? And the indirect question follows, and that is, could you tell me if the coffee is for everyone? Again, I have already told you earlier, indirect questions have the same word order as statements, but I have not given you example of it. So let's see this with an example. For example, indirect statement. The meeting is at 2. Now a direct question of the statement, that is, when is the meeting? And now follows the indirect question, that is, do you know when the meeting is? So you can see here, I have made a direct question and an indirect question of a statement. Now what is the statement? The statement is, the meeting is at 2. Now one more indirect question of the same statement, and that is, do you know if the meeting is at 2? In the direct question, the word order that follows is action word plus the doer. Yes, always remember this. When we write a direct question, in that question itself, we should have a doer as well as an action word. Now, where will that action word and the doer be? It will be after the question word. Confusing? Let's see it with an example. For example, when is the meeting? So you can see here we have a doer as well as an action word. Now I will tell you the usage of do, does and did. Yes, in this topic, how to use do, does and did. So in some cases we use do, does or did to make direct questions. For example, direct question. What time does the meeting start? Which is followed by an indirect question, and that is, can you tell me what time the meeting starts? Again, I have one more direct question for you, and that is, why did you leave your last job? Again, followed by an indirect question of the same direct question, and that is, can you tell me why you left your last job? Now comes the last direct question for you, and that is, did Mr. David rang yesterday? And again, it is followed by an indirect question. And the indirect question is, do you know if Mr. David rang yesterday? So with this, I have come to the end of direct questions or polite ones. And it's just to remind you once again, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe our channel and stay connected with us. Thank you.